What's up, Daniels Den? It's your girl KDaniels, and I am back with another video. First of all, excuse the lighting because I feel like the lighting is really trash right now. And my other studio light is in the car, and baby, it's cold outside. So I'm not going to the car to get it. So y'all just we gonna act like the lighting is top tier right now. Okay. But anyway, I would say I'm excited about this video, but I'm not. But I'm not. And let me tell you why. Because for whatever reason, I'm now feeling led to start bringing you guys in on something that I have been keeping personal from the public for forever, which is my marriage journey / dating life. Okay, so we about to get into it. So for this particular video, I'm going to start off by saying that I still plan on keeping a lot of stuff private. Okay, I'm gonna speak on certain things that God will lead me to speak on. Because I still very much so enjoy my privacy. But I feel like there's certain stories along the journey that would be beneficial for people to hear. So for this particular video, I want to talk about this one guy that I was dating. Okay, I don't even know if I want to use the word dating because I don't know. I don't even know how to describe stuff anymore in today's world, okay? But, anywho, so there was this guy, right? Not gonna use anybody's name in any of these videos. Not gonna do none of that, baby. This is not that, okay? But there was this guy, right? That I had met. It was so random. Like, I actually met him when I met him buying his phone. And I felt like he was flirting with me when he was trying to sell me the phone, but I just thought it was in my head. And then later, and then when I went to go meet with him to actually buy the phone from him, he was with a woman, didn't know who that woman was. So yeah. Want to know dealings, okay? But I want to say maybe like a year or so later, sometime later, I don't remember how much time, but sometime later, okay, me and him ended up reconnecting on social media. And yeah, so we reconnected and we started talking or getting to know each other. And he actually was a pretty nice guy. Like, he was really sweet. Had a really nice like personality and stuff like that. He wasn't really normally my type, if we want to say that, but he was a really nice guy. And things were going cool. But along this journey, because if you watch the first video about how this journey began, you'll know that I was taking dating really seriously, and I basically was including God in every situation that I got in, okay? So that God could let me know if this was my husband or not, right? So along the way of me talking to this particular guy, I felt like I was getting red flags. And so the first thing was that I'm trying to think, what was the first thing? Like, first of all, he kept making comments about getting me pregnant. Okay? That was a problem for me because I've been saying since day one that I was not having nobody's baby but my husband's. So you get to tell my babies with me, baby, that's a red flag. Because number one, I just met you. You don't even know me like that. To be talking about you trying to get me pregnant, because no. So that's the first thing. Okay. But that was kind of bothering me. It was and low key scaring me. Like something in me was telling me that this man was for real. He was for real about this. And at the time, I was still battling with fornication. And so it was scaring me because I'm like, I feel like this man gonna make this happen for real. And that's gonna be a no for me. Okay. So that was the first thing. The second thing was that I oh Lord, my dang on mind just went blank. The second thing was that it was one day, and actually, I think this was, the second thing was that he had a kid. Now, granted, I don't have anything against people with kids. I was trying to keep an open mind because I didn't know exactly who God was going to send. I was hoping and praying that it would be somebody without a kid because I always wanted to build my family with somebody that did not have a kid. I wanted my kid to be your first kid. But, again, I didn't want to close my options completely at the time because I didn't know who exactly God was seeing. So I was trying to keep an open mind, but he did have a kid. So I'm like, okay. Then the third thing, which was the biggest thing for me, this was like the biggest eye opener for me. So it was one day that we were at my house and he like asked me this question. And he was like, so if you continue to like succeed, like if your career gets better or bigger or whatever, like, are you going to leave me after that? And I don't remember exactly his word for word, but like the synopsis of it was, are you going to leave me if you get successful? And so something about that question really stirred in my spirit. And mind y'all, during this time, I was not nowhere near in my career. Well, I was closer than I thought, but I was nowhere near in my career where I am today. I actually was still working a job at this time, I believe. And yeah, so this is before, my name was really even ringing bells. Okay. So him saying that to me felt like God warning me. And the warning that I felt like I was getting was there's going to be a stagnation here with this man. Because for me, the fact that you asked that in my mind and in my spirit, to me translated as, hey, I'm going to be good sitting here. And actually, I feel like he actually ended up saying something like that too. Like he liked working at the warehouse and all of this stuff. And he was like, he good, living that life, which it's nothing wrong with that. Like, baby, live your life how you plan to live your life. But for me, I knew that the person that was going to be my husband had to be somebody that was not stagnant, because I knew even then that God was going to be moving me and using me. And so I didn't want to be like, that question really, like I said, rubbed me wrong, because I'm like, number one, if I get successful, does that mean you're going to start getting jealous? Is that going to crush your ego? How's that going to work? Are you going to want me to stop? Like, what, how's that going to work? For two, so you're basically letting me know that, hey, I'm good with just working at the warehouse the rest of my life. I don't really want to go, I'm good with this regular life, which is fine, like I said, but I knew that's not what I needed. So I knew that was the Lord dinging a bell for me, like, hey, this ain't it, you gotta go. So I ended up letting him go. And I say letting him go, we wasn't in a relationship, but we were just getting to know each other or whatever. And I ended up letting him go. And again, y'all, I felt bad because he was a really sweet guy. He really was. But just because you're a good guy doesn't mean you're my guy. Okay. So you have to be really, really, really careful with that. Okay. I learned that. But yeah, so I let him go because I listened to the leading of the Holy Spirit in that situation. And shortly after that, I don't even want to say shortly, but I want to say within like that next year, he had moved on to somebody else and he had gotten them pregnant. And I remember I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, he did it for real. I was like, he did it for real. That was going to be me. Oh no. But I mean, I was happy for him because I knew he really wanted that. But I was like, oh my gosh, that would have been me. That would have been me. So I was so glad that I listened. That's the importance of listening to the Holy Spirit, y'all, because we get it confused. We think people, oh, well, they're a good person, da, da, da. No. Even if somebody is a good person, please listen to the Holy Spirit because you do not know. Okay? Then, you guys, after that, shortly after he had this kid, he ended up getting killed. And that was very gut-wrenching because for one, he did not deserve that. He did not deserve that. But for two, it again made me think back to, you know, how everything would have played out, you know. If there was indeed, you know, the pace of how his life was going to go, that meant maybe like 2 or 3 years after we talked, after we started being together or whatever the case is, I would have been pregnant and then would have been taking care of a child by myself. And so it was very eye-opening for me because I was like, wow, God. Like, for one, I felt so bad for him. I felt so bad for his children. Felt so bad for the mother of his children because none of them in the situation deserved that. But I was so thankful to the Holy Spirit for just letting me know that, hey, I know you like him. I know that he's a cool guy, but this is not the situation that I want you to be in. And I'm glad I followed that. And it just was a learning lesson for me that when the Holy Spirit tells you something, listen. Because God knows the bigger picture of things. He knows how things are going to play out. So he tries to warn us and prevent us from having to deal with certain things. And you'll end up in that if you don't listen. So that was just a quick little story time for y'all. Let me know if y'all have any questions in the comments. Let me know if you've had a situation where God tried to warn you and you didn't listen. Let me know below. But I'm going to be coming, you guys, with more story times, more testimonials about my marriage testimony and dating life because, like I said, this is not my cup of tea at all. But I really believe that God is getting ready to bring me into my marriage. And things are about to change. And so I think it's time to start discussing this journey. Okay? So anyway, I will be back, you guys, with another video soon. And I will see y'all later. Bye.